Well, here we are for another go on Alaskan Road Truckers. We've had multiple patches. I think we're on patch number 6 now for this game. And patches 4, 5 and 6 have been fixing multiple issues reported in the game, as to be expected. Whether it be with the problems like when you take a rest in the middle of summer and then you wake up the next day and suddenly it's winter. Weird things like that happening. So they've done a lot of attempted fixes for the game. My problem with the game has been compounded by the fact that the Xbox controller was working at the start when the game launched, and since patches 4, 5 and 6 the Xbox controller fails to function to be able to drive the truck, which I find amazing at this time, that there's so many games that use the Xbox controller now. As I've said before, I only use the Xbox controller for convenience because it allows me to sit closer to the screen and be able to see this GPS, which was not very well done. But one of the things that they have fixed in the patch updates has been the GPS. Now, I reported on the discussion panel on Steam. I posted on Discord to the developers that the GPS is so poorly done, especially when you're sitting back from your screen like I do if I'm using the steering wheel. Now, the steering wheel, incidentally, works perfectly okay. My old Logitech G20, Driving Force GT steering wheel, it works perfectly okay. The problem I've got though is that I've worked out a way where I have to use the steering wheel and I have to use the Xbox controller. Now, the Xbox controller is fine as long as you're not driving with it. I can use it to get the driver out of the truck and do all the necessary things he has to do on foot. And that's the way I'm going to have to work with it. But in order to do that, I've got to move the steering wheel out of the way each time that I stop. And also the other thing is I've got 1 or 2 buttons on this old steering wheel that don't quite function properly. They're sort of worn out. And so therefore I am sort of limited by how many things I can configure to the steering wheel. The example is now they've added the feature where you can center the steering wheel. It used to be if you looked left towards the left mirror, that the camera would stick left, and there was no way of resetting the camera. They've now added that feature, which is good. A bit like Eurotruck. One of the other things is that if you have the indicators configured in the steering wheel, which I do, I've got the left indicator also configured, but it's configured to the same button that the look left is configured. So you'll hear the indicator going if I'm just looking left, but I might want to go right. But that's a minor thing. So the way I worked it out is that I can drive the truck with the steering wheel, but do most other things not concerned with driving with the Xbox controller. But as a controller, the controller is completely broken. The truck doesn't accelerate. The truck doesn't steer, and I've tried every conceivable configuration within Steam. Because this Steam controller functionality thing that is in every game, I don't know what you do on Steam in order to get the Xbox controller working properly. Now, I have had some people say their controller's working fine. Well, mine isn't. and it's to do with the game. It's nothing to do with the controller itself, because it's a relatively new controller, and for some reason this game just does not like it. At least from the updates, it doesn't. And like 3 patches ago, it was working okay. Now it's gone weird. So this is about the 10th profile that I've made in this game since it launched. I've deleted them and recreated them, and I've started another driver. If we hit continue, and you'll notice it's this chubby guy who... hang on a minute, no, we don't want to do that. I just want to... select the profile. The other problems that still exist are the mirrors, or the virtual mirrors in the game. When they are on, they are still laggy. The frame rate in the virtual mirrors is still poor. And so on the middle of my screen, at the bottom of the screen, you'll see that it says it's saying 60 FPS at the moment. Well, that's the last time you're going to see 60 FPS, because that will disappear. Now I have got, that's the other point. If you look at the left hand side, you'll see that the GPS has got a much better contrast. The roads are now white, which is far better for actually discerning the route that you're going. Now bear in mind, I'm still going to be sitting further away from my monitor using the steering wheel. I'm restricted by the steering wheel being between me and my desk where my mouse is. It's still easier now to see the road and the route that you're going on. You'll also notice that the companies that you go to collect orders, or to collect trailers, and obviously to deliver trailers to, are now highlighted on the map. You've got this sort of yellow box that you can see on that GPS. What I'm doing at the moment, and I'm going to use the Xbox controller to do this, is I am, let me just get rid of that. I am there. I have just completed the delivery, and we're heading back north to a company to collect our next order, which I think, hopefully it's still going to be there when we arrive, because it's going to take us a little while to drive to it. But that will then allow us to do a job that's going to give us about $11,000. Oh, here, another thing also to mention. Having just completed this job with the steering wheel, and since I got the game, this is the first job that I've ever completed in this game where I didn't lose any value of the goods that I was delivering. With the controller, when it was working, there wasn't a delivery I did where I didn't have damage to the goods. So I actually made a Steam achievement today, or earlier today, by driving here without any damage to the goods. And it just shows you how much better it is to be doing driving games with the steering wheel rather than the controller. It gives you much more accurate control. So that worked. So at least I got, the only sort of good news is that I got a Steam achievement for having 100% delivery, which is good. So now that I'm going to be doing this job, there's going to be a delay between me stopping the truck, moving my steering wheel out of the way, and then using the controller. I even use the controller when I'm reverse parking the truck. If you look here, let me just hit the camera. If you look where we are, although the truck's not sitting that square, but that actually managed to park the trailer and get me the 5 stars for that. But when I was reversing this truck, again, remember I'm using the steering wheel to do the reversing. I'm on the third person view, but I'm actually also using the Xbox controller in my hand to allow me to rotate the camera, because you can't do that with the steering wheel when you're trying to reverse the truck. If, like me, you're such a bad reverser of the truck that you have to go third person to do it. So I end up turning the steering wheel with one hand and having the Xbox controller in the other hand in order to drive and park the truck. It's weird, but it actually works. So we are going to, I don't know the name of the place, because that's another thing they still haven't really fixed. You can't really see the names of cities or towns or villages very clearly on the map. If you zoom in, that's where we're heading to. We're heading up there to that place called Talk. I think it's called Talk. It could be Tor, but it's so unclear. It's another thing they need to correct on this game. But that's the one point there, is that you can, unless the GPS is working, you just don't know the name of the place you're going to. The names are still so poorly done. But anyway, they've improved a number of things. They're supposed to have got rid of all the bumps out of the roads. Although when you were using the Xbox controller, you didn't really notice that. But now I'm using the steering wheel, then we'd be able to notice whether there was any sort of bumps still in the road. So we'll see how that goes, and we'll get ready. So I'm just going to move the steering wheel into place. And now I'm going to get my Xbox controller and sit it on the chair just behind my back, so that it's handy when I need it. And that seems to be the best way it works. I've got my camera button configured to my wheel, which, there we go. And now that I'm in the truck and I've got my wheel in place, because you can't use the steering wheel to look around the cab really, I then sit here and then I use the controller, which seems to be the way to do it. Right, so, and then of course whenever you put the brake on, this is another thing I'm finding. If I hit the escape button on the keyboard, then things seems to reset. For some reason things don't work very well straight away. And if you look, now this is still a bug. This is one of the other bugs that still exists. When you start the game, or at least when I start the game, I get this problem. I've got the Logitech G Hub installed, which you're supposed to do in order for this game to work. And the accelerator button isn't working on the steering wheel, on the pedals. It's not working. Bear in mind, I finished this game, an hour or two ago. Left the game running, and now we've finally got it working. It's taken that long to get it into gear. So off we go. Fingers crossed. Now, did I put the lights on? Let me just check. Right, the lights are now on, so let's see if we can keep this controller away from my back before it starts. It's cumbersome, but it's the only way I can do this. See, it's showing you that I'm indicating left, but I was actually looking left. I wasn't wanting to turn left, but it's the best I can do. So off we go to get our next job. And I haven't got the virtual mirrors on because the frame rate fluctuates up and down during the game anyway, but it's probably a lot worse with the mirrors on. But how much easier is it to drive this game using a wheel? 100 times easier. And now we're down to the speed restricted area, 25 miles an hour. Now the GPS is also supposed to lead you right up to the company that you're going to. Now I notice that it disappears when we turn left, so now I'm still not sure whether it's a company on the left or the right that I'm supposed to be going to. It's still not 100% clear to me looking at the GPS. I presume it's up ahead on the right. I'm just guessing it is though. It looks as if it's getting a bit foggy. Either fog or it's going to come on to rain. So now I have got to a point here where, looking at the GPS from where I am sitting back, I'm not sure whether I'm going left or right. So if I go to third person and I use the controller to look right, I'm looking to see whether... Now I think I've actually been here before to get a job, and I think I turned right. Now looking at the left, that is either a store or it doesn't look as if that's the company I want to go to, so I have to assume that I'm going into the right. So I'm still guessing, so the GPS is still not for me taking you directly to where you're supposed to go. So I'm still completely at a loss as to where I should be going, so I'm guessing I'm having to go right. Let me have a look. So I'm just assuming that the business I'm going to is in here. I have no clue if it's right or wrong. It may or it may not be. Now here's where I'm confused, because already the arrow is telling me to turn left, which has then got me guessing that I should be going back the way to another company. You see what I mean? This is what still leaves me confused about the game. I'll use the controller and we can see that there's a dispatcher in there on the right hand side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go forward a wee bit, and I'll just leave the truck here. This is how cumbersome it is. Go into the vehicle, put the handbrake on, And now I can't get it's so bloody frustrating. Let me just do that. The controllers is now let me just center the camera. See, if I center the camera, I've got to remember to do that now as well. So I'm going back to the steering wheel and go back to the controller. Right, I'm going out the cab. I'm going to go over to that dispatcher and see whether the job that I am supposed to be here for is here. Let's find out. I might have guessed right and I might have guessed wrong. Now this should be... Let me just... Now, again, this is where I have to move the steering wheel out of the way. So this is why it stopped start now, the game for me. I've got to move the steering wheel. I can't read the on-screen chat, by the way, because I'm too far away. It's crazy. Right, now I'm in position. I can now read the on-screen chat because I can see Larda's there. The Xbox controller isn't working. It's totally goosed. I'm now using my steering wheel and the Xbox controller to try and do this damn game. Right, now the one thing I can confirm is that this is not the correct company, because that's not the job that I came for. So now I think if I can, if it'll allow me to walk away as far from the truck as I can, I'm just going to walk straight across and see if the dispatcher is in here, at where I thought it might have been. Now I'm stuck by a chain link fence. Now what's the jump button? Right, I've jumped over. Now that there is a repair. Oh no, it's a motel. So that's not where I'm going to get the job. See, you see how confused I am about where the hell the job is I'm supposed to be getting. Because the GPS just stops in the middle of the road, and there's 2 or 3 companies round and about here, and I do not know what one. This might be it up here, but this just looks like a row of houses. You know, that's just somebody's house. So I'm going to wander about in the piss and rain. That's just somebody else's house. Again, no clue. I could be driving the truck round and round and round looking for the job, but I'm determined not to be doing that because it just becomes frustrating. So the truck's still there. I'll go back along here to where the GPS was. It was bringing me along the route this way, and I've turned off that main route onto this dirt track. So this is the main route here. Let's look at the map. Right, now in here there's a job. I'll tell you what the job is. The job is 11,000 euros or dollars. I'm not sure what the money is, but that's the motel that I'm at. Let's just move out of the way. Let's bring that one up. It's not that one. And then let me get rid of all of those. Now, that arrow there, or that flag there, is telling me that that's where the job is. At least that's where I marked the GPS when I was selecting the job. I've not changed that, and where I parked the truck, there's a company there, and that was the one where there was a fuel tank, but that's not the job I went for. So the job now that I should be going for should be sort of there. So now I'm going to walk over to it and see whether that's... This is why you scratch your head with some games. Right, so let me get my bearings again. So, right, that's where the truck is. The truck is there. The truck's up ahead up there. I've abandoned it up there. This is the dirt track that I drove in. I'm now going this direction, past that motel, which is not the place I'm supposed to go to. And now that I'm walking, you can see the dots. See how the dots are appearing in the GPS? Those dots that are appearing in the GPS there on the white road are as if I'm walking away from the job, but that's not right. So the job's got to be somewhere in here. See, there's a company over there. Now it might be in here. See, they're just houses again. It might be over here, because obviously there's a way in here, and over here. I don't know that there's a door to go in here. It must be around the other side, but there's a dispatcher around here. And I'm looking for the trailer that I'm supposed to collect, if this is the right place I'm going to now. This is like a store. Let's go in and ask this guy or woman or whoever it is. Right. Now, that there isn't the job, because that's only like, what, $406. That's not the job. So this isn't the place I'm supposed to go to either. Right. So now I'm going to head across the road. See, now it makes it clear, because the dots, where I'm looking on the GPS, the dots are going up to the road end and then turn left, and that's where they then end. But I've been to the two companies where that job's supposed to be. Now, the only other reason would be that job is expired. But nothing tells you on the screen that the job's expired, because it was a good job to give me a good amount of money. $11,000. Right. So I'm going to go up. I don't know. I presume there's a company in there. There's a dispatcher there sitting scratching their head. So we'll try this one. And now I'm about half a mile from the truck. And is that another dispatcher over there? It looks like it. So we'll try this one and see what we get here. Now, that one has got two jobs. In fact, it's got three jobs. One for auto parts, and to cut a long story short, there's three jobs here, none of which are the ones I chose, so it's not that one either. So we'll walk over to it. Now I'm sure I saw, was there not another, where was the other place I thought I saw another dispatcher? Maybe I'm just imagining things. Yeah, I doubt it must be, because there's a trailer. That would probably be one of the trailers I'd have to pick up. So this company's got the one dispatcher. This looks like a back road going somewhere. It's not really marked on the map. But is this one of the companies I've already been into? Now I don't know. Because, yeah, there's a dispatcher over there. Let's head over to this one. You see, it can't be here, because we're too far away. We're too far away from the bloody truck and from where the GPS is telling us to go to. No, and that one's only 3,000. So all I can think now is that the job that I went for has expired. So out we go. And we'll give up on that. So this is just taking me to, hopefully, the way out. That road's blocked there. What does that say? Road closed. Road ahead closed. And there certainly is no way through there. Right, so let's just go back. And when you see his arms going like that, that's him jumping, believe it or not. And on foot I'm getting 42 FPS, and that's what the game will give you. Well, it gives me most of the time, and I've not got the settings turned up full in this game. I've let the game choose the graphic quality itself. It's got an automatic feature where it will check. Now is that, yeah, that's that motel, so we're on the right road here to go and pick up our truck. So the truck's up there. So now I just have to bite the bullet and take whatever job there is going, which is not very much. I'm just going to go in here, talk to this dispatcher, and it's going to be this container that we're taking, this tank. Right. Yeah. And that's for $7,000, this system. Powerhaul Manufacturing. So that's the job we're taking. That's the trailer we're picking up. And now into the truck. And this, see, looking at the GPS in the truck, that's now showing me where we're going, so that's changed. That's definitely changed, because that wasn't really functioning properly either, so I noticed that's changed. So now I have to move the steering wheel back into position. It's so bloody cumbersome. Right, steering wheel now in position. Xbox controller is going to be sitting at my back again, so that it's handy. I'll go to the external camera. In fact, no, I can't, because I've left the handbrake on, haven't I? So again, out of the controller, put the handbrake off, and now we should be good to go. And now I have got the steering wheel in my left hand. I'm going to go to third person, and I'm also now using the right stick on the controller to turn the camera to a better position, which you can't, as I say, do with the steering wheel, and that will allow me to get a better eye line to reverse this truck and get it hooked up. It's still stuck in reverse. I think that's it. Right. That's it now. Right. So get the handbrake on quick. Oh, the truck keeps jumping all over the place. Right, now out of the truck. All this is done with a controller. Get the wires hooked up. The cables, I should say. Now why is it not full? Oh, I've got to hook the trailer up. Right, now we're doing it. Now I don't even know what I'm doing. Right, that into there. That into there. That's us done that. Now get it wound up. And all we need to do now is just look and see where the road is so that we're actually going out onto the road. And just straight out here. I don't see. I can't remember where I've come in. I presume this is sort of roughly it, so we'll try that. Into the truck. And we should be ready to go now. Let's try that. And now we're in the truck. I'm still driving with one hand, centre the camera, and now I'm trying to put the wipers on. And now I'm back to the steering wheel, so we're now good to go. Now I have to centre my camera. Nothing bad I can say about the steering wheel. My old steering wheel works great. It's just having to work with such a combination of the steering wheel and the controller specifically for in the cab controls. I mean, you can configure all these buttons to the steering wheel, like the ignition and everything, that's fine. But the looking around the cab bit and putting the handbrake on and getting out the truck, that's something again that you configure to the wheel. I've done that, but I prefer to when I've stopped the truck, I prefer to use the controller, simply because the next thing I'm going to be doing is jumping out the truck and then walking around. So that's a choice I've had to make in order to try and get this game to function. Because if I wasn't doing that, it would be like still moving the steering wheel out of the way, but then just using the mouse and the WASD to walk around with the keyboard. That would be this is just to save me leaning forward to my keyboard each time. But once I've done the delivery and that sort of thing, then everything's good. It's just the time that's wasted messing about from steering wheel to controller each time. Anyway, let's see if we can deliver this and get 100% for it, what we did in the last job before we started. Well, at least the season hasn't really changed, although it's wet. The weather's just as bad, and it's far too risky to now try overtaking this car. This was a thing that's supposed to have improved as well, the AI traffic, but we're in a 55 mile an hour speed zone and we're still only doing, I don't know, what are we doing, about 20 odd miles an hour. Now we're down to like a 15 miles an hour or 20 mile an hour speed zone. I think it's 15. And we're back onto the gravel. So this is just a bit of a shortcut, you notice on the GPS. We could have went around to the left on the main road. Now you've got to watch the bump, because I've been down this road before. There's a big bump there to catch you out, that big dip. Now that car's decided to give way, that'll do it. So we're now back in the main highway, which is good. I'm not convinced it's 100% raining at the moment, so I'm going to slow down and grab the controller and put the wipers off. Another speed restriction. I think I've got half a tank of fuel. I'm okay for hunger at the moment. I suppose the greatest thing is that there's such a contrast between me driving with the controller when it did work to driving with the steering wheel. You see how much smoother the controls are with the steering wheel. You know, it's sort of one-to-one. Slightest little movement, you'll turn the wheel as you'd expect to do when you're using a steering wheel. Oh, we've suddenly hit a bit of a grade here. Must be quite a weight in this fuel tank. I mean, I'm not even sure whether it's fuel or not that we're actually hauling here. You've still got to keep a good distance from the AI vehicles in front, especially when you're approaching a speed limit change, because they will just suddenly slam the anchors on and you'll be flying into them. Right, we're going left here. Well, this is a bit of a dirt track. Now let's go into third person. I'm going to use the controller because we don't want to knock that sign down. We want to get in here 100%. Centre it up. It's just a little shortcut we're going through. Right, that'll do. Now I think what I'm going to have to do is first of all slow down a bit. Which I definitely had to do at that corner. We're going to have to have a look out for a fuel station soon enough. And now he's also getting tired, so that's the other thing we need to do. Now that's a fuel station there. Now can we drive in there? Let me have a look. Let me have a look. I think it's a fuel station. We're certainly turning right anyway, so we should be able to get out the other side. Yeah, it is a fuel station. Right, so that'll do. Now I've got everything's with the controller now. Let's get into the cab and put the handbrake on. Get it to work. Put the engine off. Put the lights off. I think that's them off. Get out of the truck. And presumably that's a store. Yes, it is. And now we will hit the we'll top up the fuel and then we'll take a rest. Right, now round that side, grab that. That's that done. Put that in there. Right, so now we have filled the truck. We'll just dive in this side at the moment. And now what I'm going to do is, I am now going to move the steering wheel out of the way, because this is where I want to do 2 or 3 things. So the steering wheel's of no use for the time being, so we'll just move it over to the side. This is how I'm going to have to play this game. Simple as that, it's the only solution. Right, so now we're in the truck. We will head in the back of the truck. We'll have a quick look at... no, I can't do that from inside the back of the truck. I was hoping to go to the map. It won't let me go to the map. Well, anyway. Right, anyway, we'll take a rest. What time is it? It's 7 AM in the morning, so it's going to be late on in the day when we start up again, but that'll just have to do. And we'll take our rest. That should be us recovered as far as that goes. And now have a look in the cabinet. What we got? We've got turkey and gravy, uncooked. We'll go to there. Get that in the microwave. And I've went and hit the wrong button, so now I'll jump back into the cab. I wanted to bring up my inventory there. Right, so there's a turkey and gravy that's ready. So we have consumed that. There's nothing else there. Let me just have a quick look down here. What have we got up there again? We've got chips. We'll consume them and that's us full. So now what we need to do is get out of here and get into that store to buy some food and just top up. If we can get out the bloody truck, that is. Right, so now we're out the truck. Let's get into the store and get some grub. What we got here? We've got the chicken tenders, frozen pizza, trail mix peanuts, instant soup, canned food. We'll have that. We want the food to be sort of substantial enough, so we could only buy that. That is our inventory full. We'll get back into the truck, back into the back of the truck, into this cabinet here and check what's in there. See, there's nothing in there, so we'll put that in there, that in there. I've bought stuff that I actually didn't need to buy without looking in these cabinets. You know, I've got 2 lots of coolant, one which I already had. I already had a scraper that I didn't realise I had. Right, so that's something put in there. Quick look here, there's nothing in there, so now I'm going back to the store. And this is what you have to remember to do. You know, obviously you're consuming food all the time, and you've got to be wary of what your capacity is on the cabinets or in the cabinets in the truck. So now that's just books. That's drinks. You've got almond milk, which gives you a normal milk as well. Juice, energy drink gives you 1%, so we'll have milk. We'll buy that, and it's not letting us buy anything from that shelf. What else have we got here? Canned food, peanuts, trail mix again, frozen pizza. I like the mac and cheese and the fried chicken tenders, so we'll have that and that. So that's us bought another 3 things. And again, we just have to dispatch that into the truck before we move off, so we'll get enough to see us to the end of the trip and also carry us on to the next job. Right, so those 3 items that I've just bought, bung there, bung, bung, so that's now that cabinet full. We double check in this cabinet, we've got nothing in there, and we've got 3 spots available. So there's 4 spots there and there's 3 spots on my inventory. There's 3 things I can carry. So I'll go back out, back into the store again. It's just a bit cumbersome, but it's the one way to make sure you're managing and organising your food. Because don't forget also, you can't leave things lying in the cabinet for any great deal of time, because they're going to go to waste. Now, can I get anything here? Right, so same again, we've got peanuts, trail mix. Looking at what you're getting, 9% nutrition is good. So we'll have that. Instant soup, according to that, gives you nothing other than it just costs you. You've got 10% of the canned food. So we'll take 2 of the canned foods, head back out. It's just a rigmarole that you have to do. Right, so now up there. So this lot is going into that cabinet, if I can get the camera turned. So we'll dispatch that there, and that there. And now we look at the bottom cabinet and we see that we've got fried chicken in there, 2 days, 2 days, and 12 days for the frozen pizza. So the next things that we have to be eating are those. There's nothing in my inventory there. So I'm going to go and get one more shop. So we've spent, what, 15 minutes almost buying stuff and running backward and forward to store it in the truck. So we'll have the canned food, another one of them. In fact, we'll have 3 of them. Right, that'll do. Out of there, in there, in there, and in there. Right, 1, 2, 3. Right, that'll do us for time being. So now I'm about ready to go. Handbrake off. Put the engine on. And now I need to bring the steering wheel back across. Same again. Get my steering wheel across. I don't know how far we've got to go because I haven't looked. I'm just going to be driving. Bring the Xbox controller across so it's handy. And go to third person. Well, at least I try to go to third person, but my buttons. This button that I've got this configured to is a bit dodgy. But we are going the right direction. Right, we're now back on the road again. I don't know that I put the truck lights back on. Now let me just quick look here. I've got them back on at full beam. Centre the camera, and now we can continue. Back to a 25 mph speed limit. Weather looks as if it doesn't know what to do. Frame rate's probably round about 40 odd. Now here's one of these inexplicable things. From what I can see, right, there is nothing whatsoever here to be holding this guy up. There's no traffic lights. He's 50 yards from what might be a junction, and there's another guy coming the other direction who I think is doing the same thing. Am I missing something out here? And that's the rain started again. Let's get out the truck and see what the hell it is. Absolutely nothing. This is the things that the AI vehicles are doing now. You know, he's not parked there. He's just sitting there, and we've got a junction here. We've got another vehicle, and vehicles to follow are doing exactly the same bloody thing. And these are the things that people are complaining about. You know, you're driving along merrily on your way, and for no reason whatsoever, you've got AI vehicles just parking themselves in the middle of the road and not moving. They're stalled for some reason or other. When the road's perfectly clear, you know, there's not a problem. Right, so let's get the where the hell's the wipers? That's the dashboard lights. Oh, it's this side, isn't it? No, that's the lights. Right, let's get the wipers on. Where the hell are they? That's them. Right, so now I'll centre my wheel and off we go. And now this is another thing that the AI does. They do that where you go to overtake them and then they suddenly decide they want to move, which is hilarious. So this particular bug has most certainly not been, I don't know whether it's even been looked at, but it's exactly the same problem as I've experienced before, where they sit and they do nothing, and then you go to overtake them and then all hell breaks loose, they all start to move. Big lag there. It's looking like we're in for a deluge of rain. There's another bug that was reported where if you touch your keyboard, it can cause problems with your wheel, in that the game seems to lose the settings for your wheel, and that looks as if what's happened here. Let's see if it will fix itself if I hit escape and go back in. Let's see if we can get things working again. Now that seems to have fixed it. It's still another bug that was reported, but it's still there. Now we've got a sharpish turn left here. Now what's that telling me? What the hell did that tell me there? Not a roadblock, is it? Hold on. Right. Steering wheel out the way. I've got to read what the hell this just said there, because if I don't read it, I'm going to drive into it. Hang on. Fill new entry. Have I got something that's a problem? Ah, right, this is it telling me to use the logbook, so we'll do that, because that's like a request that it's asked me to do. I think that's what it is. Right, cargo durability is still 100%. We've got 166 miles to go. I think that's what it was telling me to do. I hope that's what it was telling me to do. Truck damage, your truck can sustain. Well, that's just telling me the standard guidance, so I presume everything's okay. I don't see anything that's telling me I've got a problem. Yeah, the truck's just had a full tank of fuel, so we're okay as far as everything goes, it seems. But all of these things are just reminding me of things that I haven't done yet, and they'll keep popping up. But I'm just scared that I get something wrong with the truck there, and I ignored it. But I think it was just a logbook thing, so we'll take it as read that everything's okay. We'll get the wipers back on. Right, now, as I said before, now I put the... it sounds stupid, but this is how I operate. I put the Xbox controller down. I then bring my steering wheel back across. Hang on a minute. This is why it's stop-start the game. I'm stuck in the middle of the road here. I'm moving the steering wheel back into position. Then I've got to grab my Xbox controller to put it behind me so that it's handy when I need it. So I've done that. And now I just have to hope the steering wheel works again. Which it looks as if at the moment it's working. So let's go. No, I've got the handbrake on, have I? Yeah, I have. So now, Xbox controller in hand. Looking for handbrake. I think that's it off. And I put the wipers off there because it looks like the rain stopped. So, oh, we're finally on the move again with 100 and what did I say? 166 miles still to go. And now the weather looks reasonably good. I think the roads are drying out. I'm going to tempt fate here and say this, but this could be, it could be the second job in a row with my steering wheel where I've done a job and I've not had any damage to the goods. Right, we're coming to a bit of a junction here, so I'm just slowing down just in case anything crazy. Well, there is a speed limit change. That's the other reason for slowing down, because it always jumps down to like 25 or 15. So that's the junction there. So we're through that, so we should be sort of back up to normal speed. And I think this is about the fastest we've gone in this part of the trip. Coming through loads of different places we're discovering, which I can't read because I'm too far back from the screen. Right, tight bend, right, brakes on. You've got that sun glare coming off the road. And of course, as I've mentioned before, you do really need to adhere to the speed limit. Give or take a few miles an hour, the game will let you off, but if you keep going above that speed limit, you'll get a fine. So what I'm going to do is, again, this is part of my live streaming testing that I've been doing, just to see if I can live stream without the PC restarting. And this will go down the road to testing that, but I'm going to finish this job and call it quits. And quit while I'm ahead. So, in this trip, and the way that I'm doing it is cumbersome, but that's the way it works for me, with the controller and the steering wheel combined. In this trip we've still discovered that there still are bugs there. The traffic bug is still there. The bug with the traffic where they just stop in the middle of the road and do nothing, and they'll sit there until you decide to get into your truck and go past them, and as soon as you go past them, they're already starting to move, which is another way of causing you to have an accident. Well, we're on a good bit of highway here, so we can get the foot down. I don't know whether we're coming to, I think we're coming to one of the major towns or cities here. That Turner it said, I'm not sure what it said. But anyway, back down to the speed limit. I'm actually in the wrong lane, I'm in the lane to turn right, but that'll do. Right, that's saying green, so let's go. On with the brakes again. I've gone a wee bit too far, but the reason I've gone to third person is so I can see the lights. We can't have far to go now. Have I missed a turn off? I think I've done it again. Yep, I have done it again. I've missed a turn off. Right, out with the Xbox controller. Let's see if we can do a turn here. I don't think we can make it, because the AI is going to move up on me. Yeah, we've missed that turn. So steering wheel in left hand, Xbox controller in right. Trying to turn onto this without causing any damage. And I think I've got away with it. Back to in the cab. Centre the wheel and off we go. So that worked. I think I'm going straight on here. Oh, big lag. And he's decided to pull straight over to the left lane, that guy in front, until he's almost off the highway. I'm getting in the inside. So he's now going to want to pull across because in the wrong bloody lane. Is this traffic lights up ahead? Yeah. Or is it? Yeah, it is. So straight through we go. Got to be getting there soon enough. And now he's away again, straight out into the left-hand lane. You just got to keep an eye on him. I'm pretty certain he's just going to want to turn in here. Like that. Oh, I was too busy looking to see where I was turning left up ahead, and sure enough I bloody hit the bastard. Oh, it's annoying. I wonder if these guys are going to move. I mean, he's got his hazards on because I hit him. So this is us at our destination. This hasn't got traffic lights, has it? Aye, it does. So we're at red at the moment. Now we've gone green. I'm just driving with the steering wheel left hand, Xbox controller and right, so that I can move the camera. Now, that should be where we're going in there on the left, I think. He says confidently. I mean, I think it is. See, you're still guessing as to where you're really going. But I think this is it. The arrow's showing go up, go straight ahead, but I'm going to go in here. The question is where's the dispatcher? Now that's, I think, him up ahead. Maybe this is where we're supposed to park this thing, we'll find out. We'll find out if this is the right spot. So we're looking for the little stars to appear. There they are. So I've guessed right. Well, we're getting 4 stars for this, but I'm not having it. I'm not having that. If it takes me an hour, I'm going to park this to get 5 stars. Right, that'll do. We've got the 5 stars. I need to centre my camera because that's the other thing I forget to do, because then I could use the controller again. Put the handbrake on, that off, lights off, make sure they're off, right, out the cab. Don't go to the dispatcher until you've disconnected the trailer and everything, because that's another thing I keep forgetting to do. Right, so now we'll take red out. So this will conclude this trip, but I think it might be good news. But before I go in, I'm going to shift the wheel out of the way so I can actually see what comes up on the screen. Right, over there with that. Out of there, get the legs down, or the supports. Come out of that, release the lock. Now, where was that dispatcher? Is it around the corner? Right, I'm going to move the wheel out of the way. It's just to that. Get the wheel out of the way. Right, that's it, going. And we'll go along and see if we got 100%. Well, we certainly got the bonus for parking. In we go. We'll see whoever this is. And again, we've got 100%. So, 2 jobs in a row with the steering wheel. What does that tell you? That's why you must use a steering wheel with this game. 2 jobs in a row, I've got 100%. I've got the full payment, 7,600. We'll finish that off. And then we'll head back out to the truck. And we will take a rest. Because we're going to need to have a sleep, and we'll have the full quota for sleep. Now, what you've also got to remember is when I'm getting something to eat here, I've got to take the stuff that is the stuff that's about to spoil earliest. So we'll have a look in here. 5 days for the canned food that's left. We'll check the cabinet in there. We've got 11 days, 11 days, 11 days for the canned food there. Frozen pizza, 11 days. Breakfast, 11 days. So they're all fine. So come out of that. Did I double check that? Did I? What did I say that was? 5 days for the canned food. So we'll have that. And we'll have that. And come out of there. We'll go into this cabinet. And we will see that we get 9 days, 9 days, 9 days. So they're okay, because they're the things I just recently bought. But to fill me up, I'm going to have the mac and cheese. So we'll go over to the microwave. And we'll get the mac and cheese in. I will get my mac and cheese, consume that, and that's us now full stomach. So we can go back into the cab. The rain is now on. I'm going to go to, for some reason, there it is, it's working now. We're going to go to the jobs, and where are we parked? We are in there. Let's just do that. So we are here, and we will bring up the logistic locations, or the places where we can get jobs. Check that one. What's that giving us? Not a lot, to be honest with you. That one down there we don't qualify for. That one there we don't qualify for. That one there is trash, terra trash and recycling. That's 7,000 odd. That one there, no job that we can take. That one there, no job that we can take. Again, my driver isn't qualified enough. But now there's one, general goods, going to pump station 1 now. Is that 10,000 or is that 18? Now the only other thing I haven't checked, we'll check that back that in a minute. We can see that we've got a point level, the qualified for, we've already got our own access to our headquarters, so we've already got that, but we've now got 3 options here that are available to us, because we've got one perk point, if you want to call it that. We've got the nutrition meter drops 5% lower. We could take that. We've got the regular customer reduces fuel cost by 5%, or we can take allows to remove fallen trees. Now, bearing in mind that in previous incarnations of my profiles, we've came to a point where there has been trees, and so therefore you need a chainsaw. So I'm going to take that. None of these have got any perk points next to them at all yet, so we won't worry about that. Back to the jobs, and we can also filter that for the jobs that we qualify for. So that's there. Get rid of that marker that I marked down because we don't need it. And we can see that in all of this location here that we're at, all of these companies all have one job or another that I'm qualified to take. So we'll go to the one that seems to be the farthest end of the town. We'll get that one there. Now, what was that other one that said like either 10 grand or 18 grand? I couldn't read it properly. Right, there's that one. General goods to pump station 1. So that shows us where that's going. Now, pump station 1 is quite far north because you're heading up onto the Dalton. In fact, it's right up in Prudhoe Bay, right up at the very top. You can't go any further. So that is a job that we're setting out to take, to try and make it a hat trick of jobs where we get there in one piece without any damage. That'll be a record for me. So that's the one we want to take. And that one is from there. Right, so we'll mark that. Has that marked well enough? We'll mark that there like that. Right, and we'll get rid. I think that's us. So that's the next job we're going to. Let's go to the map. Right, the GPS is mapped out the route that we're going to pick up this delivery that we're taking up to pump station 1, right up at Prudhoe Bay. So was it that? It's not that one, it's definitely that job there. Definitely that one. So that'll be for another time. So until we meet again, I'll bid you good afternoon. I'm off for my dinner.